Welcome to Till Death Do Scream. Of course, Rob, and this is my little buddy Mayhem Mel. Mel, what's going
on?
In honor of the movie that we're going to be talking about, you know what? We decided to wear a captain's hat and a bucket hat like the skipper and Gilligan's
Island.
Why not? This is just a fun, lighthearted movie, and I'm so happy that it's doing as well as it is. I mean, 1% at the box office after 4 weeks. I mean, you got to give it credit where credit's due. It's a January film. There's usually a lot of trash in January. This is really, really building word of mouth in terms of an audience. So just, continuing to grow and grow and grow. And I'm just happy for everybody. And especially Sam Raimi.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Sam.
The king of grossness.
Yeah. King of, just horror. One of the kings of horror.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Mount Rushmore's head would definitely be on there.
Yes.
You would not see Sam doing this type of movie. It is a desert island movie,
right?
But it definitely has a stink on it.
No, all over.
And his snot,
snot and the puke and the blood.
Blood, yeah, it's all there. It's all there,
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing, clearly he loves to torture his actors. There's some stories about that, behind the scenes or whatever. And it's not never in a cruel way. He's just he's a knucklehead.
He's a stooge.
He's a stooge, absolutely, absolutely. He's a big Three Stooges fan.
Mm-hmm.
It shows in every movie he's ever done. Definitely shows in this movie, quite a few times. He just loves, making the movies he wants to make.
Mm-hmm.
And I give him nothing but absolute credit for that. He's not trying to, reinvent the wheel. He's not trying to do anything really incredible. He's not trying to make an Academy Award or make an Academy Award winning film.
He's just trying to make a good movie.
I'm just Sam, dude. I'm just doing my thing.
He's just trying to make a good movie.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Mm-hmm. If you're not familiar with Sam, of course, he gave us the Evil Dead trilogy, Spider-Man trilogy for any of you comic geeks out there. Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I'm a huge fan of that personally.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people shit on it for whatever reason. Of course, earlier years, after Spider-Man, he came strong with Drag Me to Hell, or Drag Me to Heck, as Bruce Campbell calls it, because it was a PG-13 movie.
Yep.
And he likes to rip him for that. Did we mention we're talking about Send Help?
Oh, we are talking about Sendhelp. Yes.
Yes. Of course, we're talking about Send Help. If we haven't mentioned that before, I can't remember if we did or not.
Probably not. ADHD.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, anyway, like we said, it's doing really great at the box office. People, seem to really love it. It's kind of critically praised across the board. Good for Sam. Wonderful for Rachel McAdams, because she should definitely be doing a lot more than she she does. And I think this really shows. And Dylan O'Brien, I knew nothing about. He was obviously very familiar to fans of MTV. Did the Teen Wolf series for a long time. I remember him doing a Taylor Swift a music video that she directed or something, and started singing from Stranger Things, but I didn't know anything about this guy.
I didn't know this guy at all.
But man, I am a fan of him after this movie. He was so good. He can play the creep, play the asshole, he can be sinister, and that's the thing about this movie. There's nobody likable in it at all.
No. They're all horrible people.
In the long run, they are horrible.
They are horrible people.
Yeah. I think what's interesting about this movie is that you're supposed to look at Preston as, the
horrible boss.
The horrible boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there is a moment, there is a few moments, there is a turnaround where it's just this poor guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. And it's not a big, pump your fists, feminist movie. You know what I mean? Nothing's thrown in your face. It's just literally two people. One happens to be a woman, one happens to be a man. And they're at odds with each other most of the time.
And they're both very manipulative.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Rachel McAdams has never played a villain before, and I think she's very villainous in this in certain respects.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially
For
at the
sure.
end.
Yeah. Oh.
We'll get to that. All right, babe. So with that, let's start talking about the movie here. So we are introduced to Linda Little.
He's an absolutely, I would say, a dowdy looking woman. Like, she does not dress well. She doesn't take care of herself. You know, she wears horrible shoes. She has not very good hygiene.
Yeah.
She lives alone with a parrot. She's very much into like the Survivor show.
Yeah.
She's into like survival stuff.
Yeah.
But she's smart. She's very smart.
She's very smart. She's very hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the thing is like, you know, like you said, you know, she's kind of a recluse. She has, you know,
no people skills.
No people skills. You know, you work in an office, of course you wouldn't bring a tuna fish sandwich to your desk, right?
No.
That's crazy.
No. I wouldn't even bring that to me.
Yeah, and you know, and the thing is, you know, it's Rachel McAdams. So if she, you know, combed her hair and she ripped off her glasses, it would be a she's all that situation. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, she's supposed to be like the ugly, you know, duckling in the office, and it's just like, okay, but yeah.
I mean, and they did make her look like an ugly duckling. Like, straight up, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, the minimalist makeup was incredible because she's a gorgeous woman.
But they made her look rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you got this girl, she's in the office, she's working hard. The original owner, who had said that she eventually was going to get promoted to vice president, had passed away, so his son took over.
This is the first Easter egg of the movie because Bruce Campbell was the owner of this office building, and he ended up dying, and he promised her the position that she's been waiting for years,
like 7 years or something.
But there's
like
actually
that,
there's a painting of Bruce Campbell behind Dylan O'Brien in his office.
And you know, she's all excited, and you know, his son is coming in, and she's obviously very awkward around people.
Yeah.
And you know, she's eating this tuna fish sandwich at the desk, and you know, she's got some stuck on her lip, and she shakes his he's walking through, and she shakes his hand, and you know, she's talking to him, and he's like looking at her like,
well, she's introduced to him at a party, and like he's very standoffish when it comes to her from the very beginning. You know what I mean? So when the son takes over the office, like he's, you know, like he's a dude bro. That's what he is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
he's a fraternity dude bro.
He ends up hiring one of his frat guys,
taking the position of VP
after 6 months of work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, like you said, like Linda is just, you know, like she's just getting passed left and right. She's constantly like having to do other people's work.
Right.
You know.
And then, you know, he's in the office, and he's talking to one of the guys, and they were like, listen, like, you know, she was promised this position, and he's like, she doesn't have the people skills. Look at her. Like, this is not a good look for our company. She's smart. She's good to like keep in the office, but not to have around clients.
Yeah.
And, you know, and he's like, smell my hand. He was like, smell my hand. You smell tuna fish.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah,
he's got a little stain of tuna fish on his finger. And Dennis Haysbert, of all people, he has him smell his finger, and he's like, what is that? And he's like, tuna, sir. And he's like, he just starts freaking out.
Yeah, no tuna fish at the desk, no eating at the desk. And then the guy's like, well, listen, you know, we do need her on this project. So,
and he's never like really, you know, like he is absolutely 100% like, you know, very standoffish with her, and you could say that like a lot of things are very, very like rude and mean, but he's never like, you know, screaming in her face or whatever. He's literally like, you know, telling her like, look, you know, I'm getting, you know, I'm getting complaints about odor. You know what I mean? And I'm not hiring you in this position because you don't have the sauce. Like, you don't have that thing that I'm looking for, where you can actually attract people to our company because, you know, you have that, you know, that it factor or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
but he's never like monstrous to her.
No.
He's not trying to sexually assault her or anything. He's just no.
And the one guy is telling him like, take her on the trip with us because you're gonna need her for like the bookend. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, fine. And obviously, she finds out she didn't get the position. That the guy that has been pushing work off on her, that's only been there for 6 months, got the VP position.
Yep.
She gets up, she storms to the office, and of course, the president is he's interviewing a woman, and he's like, "What are you willing to do for me?"
Yeah, it's like it's implied that even though like he has a very beautiful like fiance who happens to be a model. Who's very sweet in her own right, because she even is like always very kind to Linda when she comes into the office. She's like, "Hi, good to see you," whatever. He's doing things behind his fiance's back.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. He's clearly using
vile. Women
to his to his will, and because Linda doesn't have the sauce, he's not going to do that with her. You know what I mean. Instead, he's going to make her like I don't know, like hide in a corner because he just thinks she's disgusting.
Yeah. So basically, when it comes down to it, she blows up on him, and obviously he's like, all right, well, listen, let's see what you can do. Like, we're going, to what were they going?
It's actually there's a merger that's happening in Bangkok, so they're going to Thailand. She's invited along because clearly those guys are just gonna throw their work on her. Or whatever. This is a boys' night out for them,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're going to talk golf and, like probably like screw a bunch of chicks or whatever. You know what I mean? They're not even thinking about work.
No.
You know what I mean? But she's in that plane, beautiful plane, just, typing away because they're pushing their work on her. And as you mentioned before, she is a fan of Survivor. Someone gets their hands on her rehearsal tape.
Yep.
And she's like, I'm Linda Little and I'm the ultimate survivor. And she's like, showing all this stuff that she, loves about the show. She taught herself all this, different stuff. And, it doesn't come into play at this point, but, they're laughing at her. They're laughing at this tape. She sees them watching it. And then, like she erases the work. She's pissed off.
Oh, yeah. She's like,
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's no, like, real scene where, like, like, oh, we're losing cabin pressure or anything. It literally just happens.
Put on your seatbelts.
Put on your seatbelts.
And one guy says, whoever puts a seatbelt on is a little bitch.
Yeah.
Dude, bro. It gets crazy. Like, the door flies off and, the guys are flying out the door. And then the one jerk off that got the VP position, he's holding on. He looks at Linda and he's like, give me your seat. And she's like, no.
She's strapped in. He's flying in midair and, like begging for a seat. She doesn't give it up and he starts choking her. And then somehow she gets him off of him. I guess maybe through the cabin pressure that's getting pumped out. He gets sucked out. His suspenders get caught on the plane. And then you just see his face just...
and she just pulls the thing down.
His face is just getting smashed into this thing and there's blood everywhere. And the plane, of course, crashes. We see her in the water, like, so she's literally like, she's just in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the water. Somehow got to land. Did she get like thrown onto land through the tide? Is that what happened?
I don't know, because she's in the water and then you just see her on land. You see her on the shore. And she's walking around and then she finds Dude Bro. I'm going to call him that from now on.
Yeah.
Preston.
He,
Dude Bro.
He basically, he's hurt. Like, his leg is really badly hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, there's bone showing. It's terrible. But he wakes up and she has, made an encampment for him. Like, she knows how to do all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
she's making her own hat. She's making her own Stanley Cup. She's making...
We'll talk about that later, because...
She's making ways to where you can catch water. And, yeah, like, she's got her shit together.
And he just thinks it's corny. You know what I mean? Why are you doing that? This and that. She's just like, because this is what we need to do. Like, seriously.
We gotta survive.
We need to survive, And she's just in her moment.
Oh, yeah.
Just in her moment. You know what I mean? She found like a place to shower. You know what I mean? Like, she's looking good. She's got the glow up going. You know what I mean? she's Rachel McAdams. Like I said,
Right?
it's literally like they took off her glasses and like
Superman.
that's who she is. Yeah.
Right?
But there's no sexual attraction between them at all, and that's what I also love about this movie. It didn't go into any kind of did they or didn't they kind of situation, or you know what I mean? Like there are a few moments on on the island where like they're in the cave and they're trying to keep warm and stuff, and they do have some like heartwarming conversations, but it never gets to
not sexual.
Yeah,
she's taking care of everything, and he's just being a dick to her. He's like, I can do this, I don't need you. And she's like, fine. She leaves for like 2 days, disappears. She's wandering the island.
Well, he's still throwing the pecking order around too. Like, you do realize I'm your boss. And she's like, are you serious right now? Like we're like literally like in the middle of nowhere, and you're still gonna throw that shit.
You aren't the boss here. You aren't the boss. I am. I'm a better boss than you.
And he's like, I don't need you. You know what I mean? So you see him like trying to do his own thing. He can't catch water. He sucks at like thatching things together. He's not good at any of the shit that like he saw her do what he's trying to do. And literally like gone for 2 days. And like his encampment's getting blown away. He's not drinking any water. He's like dude's like starting to dry out.
Rough. Yeah.
yeah, because he's right in the middle of the sun, like dead in the middle of the sun, and she's gone for like 2 days. And he's like, talking to himself, like, okay, I get it. You can come back now, like. And she does, and she's just like, oh, look what I found that washed ashore, and I found this knife. That comes into play later. So where are we at this point?
So at this point, he starts working with her. Okay. And she's teaching him how to like build a hut. As he's healing, she's teaching him how to weave things, how to build a hut, how to catch fish.
Oh, we forgot
the boar scene. Oh, yeah. So when she comes back, she's like, we need protein. You need to heal.
How could you forget the boar scene?
And I'm going to go get a boar. So she has this she made a steak, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it was just a stick. Yeah.
And she's going after this boar. This boar's ugly as fuck, too. Okay? Like, this thing is huge. And, of course, she's going after it. And then you think it's going to get her. She's pinned down on the ground, and then she gets it. Right in the head. Well,
she goes, like, to stab the boar, and the boar stops. And then it comes back. And then all of a sudden, like, she's stabbing it again, like, furiously. Like, this is like that Sam Raimi moment. Keeps waking up.
Oh, my God. That
thing's eyes, like, popping out. She's stabbing this thing, like, blood and snot's flying all over her face.
It was the grossest scene. I'm sorry. That is the grossest scene of the movie. It really is.
Yeah. It was a CG boar, but that gunk wasn't. Because it's, like, if true fans of Sam Raimi know, like, he loves to torture his actors. And he definitely did with Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams. They were covered in all kinds of disgusting stuff.
Yep.
Including the water bug that Dylan O'Brien thought was real. And Sam was like, he didn't even know. Because Sam wasn't giving him any cues. There's a moment where he's so hungry, he like has to eat this water bug. And he's just like, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? And then it didn't, once he crunched into it, he realized it was actually made of chocolate. But like he was thinking, is Sam making me do this for real?
She comes back, she throws the boar's head at him. She's like, you know what? I kind of liked it.
Kind of loved it.
I kind of loved it. And then you see them sitting at the fire, and they're
he
eating.
Looks mortified because like the blood of the boar splashes across his face.
Covered in blood.
She drops this pig right in front of his freaking like his body, and like the blood just goes right into his face.
He's like, oh. She's like, I loved it. And so then you see them later on, they're eating boar, you know what I mean? They're like, oh my God, it's so good. And he's realizing throughout this time that she knows how to cook.
She's not that bad.
No, she knows how to cook. She knows how to hunt. She knows how to fish. She knows how to, forage. And, she's helping with him with his leg and stuff. And, and then he's like, I need help.
So let me ask you this. So, like, do you honestly think, like, do you think that there were moments where there were, like, actually, like, becoming more tender to each other, or was he just lying the entire time?
I think he was just lying the entire time. You know what? I think he was an opportunist and he needed her to survive. And he knew it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just hated her guts the entire time.
Yeah, because you're going to remember, even in the beginning, he was never mean to her. He was polite to her, even when he was being mean to her. So he knows how to handle people.
Yeah, but he is a douche.
He is a
big time douche.
Douche canoe.
This is one of the funniest jokes for me because, like, he just basically says, "You really brought home the bacon," and she starts laughing, and he starts laughing. And it's really, sweet.
She's like, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's continuously teaching him things, and she takes him up to this cliff, and she says to him, like, while they're on the cliff, the cliff actually breaks, so they almost fall to their death. And then she tells him, she goes, "You see over there?" He goes, that area right there is, you don't want to go that way at all. Like, it'll take your skin off. There's poison ivy everywhere, and you're thinking to yourself, she dies.
What's over there? I'm tired.
They're working together, and he's like, she's teaching him stuff, but she ends up going off on herself by herself on another excursion. She ends up seeing the first boat, and she hides in the brush because she doesn't want to be seen. And you're just like, oh no,
she's not ready.
She's loving this.
Yeah,
she's loving this.
She's loving it. She's thriving. She's thriving
for the first time ever. She's thriving. And I don't know. I think she has a thing for Preston. I honestly think that is the fatal attraction there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely her. It's on her side all the way. And she loves being alone with him on this island. You know what I mean? And that's what we're talking about in terms of, like, you can feel for these characters, but, like, at the same time, it's like, God, you bitch.
Right?
You could have been home, like, tomorrow, and instead you hid.
Exactly.
Of course she doesn't tell him about the boat.
Nope.
And then
they have that whole tsunami thing, and they have to go in the cave. Well, not tsunami. There was a big storm. They had to go in the cave, and that's when they had to, like, cuddle up to stay warm. And the next day they go back down to rebuild, and she had to go get something. She had to go up to the cliffside, and I guess she was doing something on the island, and catches
the fiance and the
boat guide. Yeah. And she's like, "Oh yeah, we're this way," and she's leading them up that.
She tells the fiance that he's on top of the cliff. And at first she's like not really. It doesn't feel like she's going to do it. And then once that moment happens, like you're just like, oh wow, she's really going to kill these two to stay on the island. And she goes back.
Well, the fiance falls, and then the captain's holding on to her, and she has this look of horror on her face, and you don't really see what happens. All you know is that
she in the face or something.
All you know is that she comes back to their campground area, and she goes right into her sleeping quarter area. She's like, "I'm taking the day off," and he's like, "Hey, I need some help with something." She's like, "I'm taking the day off," and she literally is like,
she's mortified
for like a day or two, right?
Yeah, she doesn't feel good about what she did. Not now, not
for like a day or two, and then she finally comes out, and he's like, he kept himself busy the whole time. You know what I mean? And he's like, "You know what? I'm going to make you something to eat. I'm going to make you dinner." And
he keeps asking her, like, "Are we actually going to do things where people can actually see, like our signals or whatever?" And she's like, "No, don't worry about it." You know what I mean? And he's just getting really fed up. So, like you said, they're having dinner. He poisons her, and then all of a sudden just pulls this like raft that he made, and goes paddling into the water. There's a moment where she has to save him, and because she's like got these toxins in her body, it's another Sam Raimi moment where not throwing up once, not twice, but 3 times in Dylan O'Brien's face.
Yep. Yep.
They have the dinner, right? The next dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And she poisons him.
Yep.
And like he like basically like comes to because she used some sort of toxin
that makes it to where you can't feel anything.
Can't move.
You can't move, can't feel anything.
And then we have the hard candy moment where basically she's, you know, like basically she's telling Dylan O'Brien like I'm gonna castrate you.
Yeah. That's the only way.
And it's really horrifying.
That's the only way, like she's like with dogs, the only way you can get them to be loyal is by cutting off their balls.
And honestly, I'm thinking this whole movie, at this moment in the movie, I'm like, are they going there? Because this is a rated R movie. Holy shit, are they going to do it?
Right.
But she was just toying with them.
Yeah.
And she's having these dreams. She feels guilty about the fiance. There's another Sam Raimi moment where, like, you see the fiance's body, like, you know, like doing this zombie movement on the shore. There's the whole scary face, you know, jump scare. Yep. It doesn't fit anywhere, but it's just so perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How does he find the ring?
He's walking along the beach.
No, that's right. That's right.
And he finds the ring. And that's when...
He doesn't tell her right away, though.
No.
Because he can't. I guess he can't because he was just threatened to be castrated or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, no, they go on their day. They go about their days, and he pretends to like be a good boy, I guess you would say.
Well, she tells him a story that we forgot to mention, and it involves her husband. She said her husband was a drunk and used to beat her, and she let him take the car keys and, you know, walk out the door, and he died in a drunk driving accident that night.
And she said normally she would hide the keys from him.
So I'm sure Dylan O'Brien's hearing that story and going, did she fucking kill her husband? You know what I mean? Like, right. So maybe that's why he didn't say anything.
Right.
Because he's like, I don't know, man. Like, this,
yeah,
you know.
She's a little unhinged.
She's trying to cut my balls off. Might have killed her husband, maybe. But there is the final confrontation where he's just like, I found this, you know. And, you know, do you have anything to say for yourself? And she's like, I didn't mean to. And
it was an accident.
Yeah. And basically, like, you know, kind of lays it out that, like, you know, this is our paradise. Like, we can be here together. And he's just like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah. Like, you killed my fiance. I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to kill you. So, you know, like, his leg is fully healed at this point. He's, you know, like, he is a predator at this point. Like, he's right behind her. And they're basically like, you know, they're fighting each other. Almost gouges her eye out. That's the wildest thing for me.
Yeah.
Like her eyes kind of half hanging out the entire time.
Yep.
Because he pokes her in the eye with his thumb or something.
Yep.
And then, of course, the big reveal is that he wasn't supposed to be on the other side of the island because some rich guy had a house there and had all the amenities, TV, stereo, couch, all that stuff. Everything.
Yep.
Beautiful house.
Food.
That's where she got the knife. Clearly, she had stayed there for at least 2 days. You know what's really funny, though? It's actually interesting because, like, I heard that there was a rumor, apparently, that, like, when Survivor goes off the air, like they actually go and stay in camps and stuff. They don't really stay on the island the entire time. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny. And we will mention too that there is a moment where she's just literally walking around. It's never mentioned. You just see it in her hand, but she's making all this like stuff, you know, out of like trees and bamboo and shit. And she ends up making a fucking Stanley. And I almost died. I was laughing so hard. Just from that one gag.
She's walking around with her own cup, drinking her coconut juice.
The big Stanley that she made for herself.
Yeah, right.
It's so funny.
Out of bamboo.
The bamboo and the bamboo straw. It's literally like Gilligan's Island. It's so fucking funny. Remember they used to make everything out of coconuts on that show?
Yep.
Radios and shit. But anyway, it's that that gag made me almost die. Like I was laughing so hard. Anyway, they're at the house. They're having this encounter. They've beaten the hell out of each other.
He finds a gun.
He finds a gun. And, you know, like, I guess he goes to pull the trigger and it doesn't work, right?
Right. She's like, I was here for 2 days. You didn't think I wouldn't take the bullets out of it?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't think I wouldn't hide all the knives?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he tries a whole, like, I love you ploy.
Let's stay here together. I never want to leave.
Yeah. But she says it back. And I'm pretty sure she means it. Like, yeah, like, I love you. Let's stay together here.
Yeah.
I think she really means it.
She probably does.
This is her Kathy Bates moment.
Mhm.
You know, the misery moment where,
Yeah.
like, what? She was in love with this guy the whole time, and she's crazy as shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, they somehow she gets her hands on a golf club. She ends up hitting him in the face.
Well, because he comes after her. He goes to attack her, and so she kills him.
Yeah,
She
beats
kills
him to death with a golf club.
She kills him
Off camera.
off camera.
You don't see anything.
You know, and then the next thing you see, she's at a golf club and she's playing golf, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I learned to love golf."
Yep.
And they're like, "Yo, this is the real life survivor, ultimate survivor."
Yeah, she's a star. She wrote a book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she wrote a book on her life. They're, you know, making a movie, like that whole thing.
Mm-hmm. And then she's driving away in a car, and it was in a.
Doesn't she say something like, you know, like in memory of him or something like that? I'm pretty sure.
And then, you know, she's just like driving along the coastline.
Like, I have to thank Preston for this dream or something like that. It was something like that.
And the song is playing one way or another. I'm gonna get ya. I'm gonna get ya one way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's Send Help.
None of them are good people.
It's a great, you know what? I know it's very early in the year, and I know it's weird to say something like this, but this is definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. I had so much fun with this movie. It's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's so great that people are having a blast with it. I think it's only going to do better when it comes out on digital.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, kudos to Sam Raimi, man. This is a winner. This is a damn winner.
Damn Skippy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a damn winner, and he, you know, like I said, you know, like, he just has the propensity in the industry to just do whatever the fuck he wants. And I say, you know, go for it.
Go for it.
That's our show, guys. Thank you very much for your continued love and support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Like I said before, little buddy, do you have anything to say before we end off here?
You can ring my bell, ring my bell, my bell. Ring-a-ling-a-ling. I know, he's probably sick of me.
I had to do it. It's a staple of Gilligan's Island. I have to smack her with my hat. All right, anyway, that's it for us. Thank you very much, like I said before, and join us next time when, you know, we're going to be talking about an incredible movie. And it's like the milestone anniversary for Silence of the Lambs. You know, we're on the, you know, like the tail end of February. You know, it is technically a Valentine's Day release, which was crazy when that came out. Ted Levine is saying some wild shit about, you know, like offending trans people in terms of, you know, fictional characters. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to Silence of the Lambs. I would say it's a damn near perfect movie. What say you, babe?
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
Join us for Silence of the Lambs, and that will scare you later. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.